Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Schwartz. Welcome back to my channel. So we are actually going to be opening book bag 7 of Book Vent, and you might be wondering where number 6 went. Well, number 6 is this one, The Book of Lost Souls by F.G. Cottam. I shot a video for this one, but I ended up I'm not going to end up publishing it because I got 9 pages into this book, and it sounded really cool. It's got like a haunted house kind of deal. It's got spirits. It's got murder mystery. But then it turned out that the author really loves to describe like everything and tries to come up with the most obtuse ways of describing things, to the point where even after 9 pages, I was just thinking to myself, I have no idea what's happening. What is going on inside you? I don't know. So I'm really appreciative that my dear friend Emma got me another book, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the city's library book drop, where you can put in books and then you can take any ones that you find there. So I'll put this one in there. Someone else will find it, someone else will love it. It's just not going to be me. But you know what I did love is the fairy reel. I'm 10 stories into this. There's 20 stories in all, and all of them are really, really good. They're completely original. You don't have to know anything about any other any other stuff going into this. You just have to know that fairies are real, and in the context of these stories. And there's a 30-page introduction where they talk about the history of fairies and what they mean to in cultures and mythologies, and it's really fascinating. And I love this. This is a great book. If you love fantasy or you're just a fan of great fiction, this is definitely something to check out. I mean, Neil Gaiman's in here. Neil Gaiman's actually been in 3 of the books that I've gotten so far. He completely wrote Mirror Mask, and he had a story in the Legends book, and he had a little poem in here. I don't actually have a lot of Neil Gaiman's long-form fiction. I had it a while ago, a long time ago. I had more of his stuff, but for some reason, old me didn't really like his writing style. But apparently, a lot of the stuff that Emma found for me has to do with Neil Gaiman, so that's kind of funny. Anyway, she's just going to be using the one bag from now on and just putting a new book in there each time, saving on bags and tissue paper, which I'm perfectly fine with because I get a new book each time. So let's take a look at what's inside number 7. We've got the book in question, hardback. Always like a nice sturdy hardback, because it means it's not mass market trade paperback size. I'm going to make a whole video about how much I love mass market trade paperback size. I think I know what these are. Last time I said this was the book, because I'm very smart sometimes. Yep, these are delicious moon pies. The nice classic chocolate ones. I don't need to do a taste test of those because I've already had those before. You can also see the rear end of my golden retriever down here. She's quite tuckered out from the day of lounging around and playing fetch and everything. So love me some moon pies. I shall enjoy some of those when I read this book here. Let's see what's inside this one. I mean, for the 7, this will be the 7th book that I've opened. For only 2 of them to have been something that I wasn't interested in, that's a pretty good track record for picking completely random books. Ooh. What is this? The Direville Tales. Perhaps you can see through this world of tales and straight to the heart of the man who told them. What is this? Oh, it looks like it's a library copy, so it has that library covering on it that I'm really not a fan of. But I can just take that off later.
Vince Elgin is an orphan, having lost his mother and father in a fire when he was very young. But beyond that, his life hasn't been much of a fairy tale. With only a senile grandfather he barely knows to call family, Vince was interned at a group home, where he spun fantastical stories and dreamed that his father, whose body was never found, that he might one day return for him. But it's been a long time since the fire, a long time since Vince has told himself a story worth believing in. That's when a letter arrives, telling Vince his grandfather has passed away. Vince cannot explain it, but he's convinced that his father is somehow still alive. And he'll find him at the funeral. He strikes out for the small town of Dyerville, carrying only one thing with him, his grandfather's journal. The journal tells a tale that could not possibly be true. The story of his grandfather's young life with witches, giants, magical books, and evil spirits. But as Vince reads on and gets closer to Dyerville, fact and fiction begin to intertwine. And Vince finds that his very real adventure may have more in common with his grandfather's than he ever could have known.
All right. That actually sounds a kind of a lot like I don't know if anyone remembers the Tim Burton movie Big Fish, but I've never heard of this author, Kozlowski. But this sounds very much up my alley. That's a very cool cover right there. I quite like that. It looks very watercolory. Looks like this is another standalone fantasy novel. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's very long. Barely 300 pages. I can get through that pretty quickly. So I'll give it the old, what I call the 3-chapter test, which is basically, if I can make it through 3 chapters of a book and still be interested, then I'll read it all the way to the end. If I'm not interested in the story after 3 chapters, then I just drop it. Because if it's not gotten me after 3 chapters, that's plenty of time for the author to intrigue me with their story and their characters and their writing style. But that's just me. So I look forward to reading the Dyerville Tales. I will let you all know when the next book event comes around what I thought of this, because if I like it enough, the next one will be a little while, because I'll probably just read this all the way through. I almost tempted to do that with the fairy reel. But thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Mr. Schwartz. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, have yourselves a good day. Because I know I will.